Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blood, Fate, and Fortune, a game of swashbuckling, sorcery, and seduction, all set in the world of 7th. My name is Dan McCurdy. You can find me at RevDMC247 on TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky, places like that. And I will be the storyteller this evening, and I will allow my players to introduce themselves, starting with Jeremiah.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah McCoy, also known as Basics of the Game. And in this wonderful world, I play Mykolas Kelvan, a Sarmatian Losajas, who's definitely not up to anything. And I will pass it over to Wolfgar.
Hello, I am Wolfgar, Reaper Wolfgar on Anywhere That Matters, and I am playing Fr Rafael Rodriguez, the Castilian priest, who is just a priest and nothing else. Now I'm going to pass it to Lakar.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lakar the Artificer, across all the socials, and I am once again playing Umberto Vitale from Vodacce, who's definitely up to something.
Hi there. My name is Natalie, also known as Gizmos Aplenty across many different platforms, doing all the fun content. And tonight I am playing Leonora Orsini, your local Sorte Strega Faith Witch.
Hello, I am a Took I Guess, and you can find me everywhere at Took I Guess, on the TikTokies and the Twitchies. I'm playing the very muscled, determined, and very flustered Roan Ibex tonight.
Well, in our previous session, the group, had been taking a moment to commemorate and funeralize the life of Sir Bryant, Rowan's mentor and almost sort of father figure, first crush as well, apparently, a knight of Avalon and the carrier of the mantle of the knight Duda, the Round, one of the legendary knights of Avalon. And as they were taking a moment to commemorate a life so fully lived, Umberto again experienced a breakout of strong vertigo. And he realized that the blood creatures that attacked them the night before were still there and seemed to be congregating to the north in the Proclit Forest, where they were approaching already in search of some sort of monsters. Finding some peace and balance, oddly, upon touching the corpse of Sir Bryant, Umberto led the team into the forest and then took them off the path in order to find a blesher, a blood wound in reality that had been opened by a portier, a blood witch capable of teleportation and transport through the magic of the blood. While there, they were fighting monsters on all sides, from all directions, but were able to fight them off and knock them down. Other things were going on as well, certain confessions, certain discussions, particularly between Father Raphael and Rowan, having a moment together to confess some feelings that they were dealing with each other and little irritations in what had happened. And Umberto finally stepping out and managing to close the blesher behind him, realized that the one who had inflicted it, the portier who had caused this wound, was somewhere to the north. He didn't know how he knew, but it might have had something to do with the creature he had discovered in the in-between and the mark of blood that had been placed upon his forehead. And with that, we come back to the party. You have been traveling along the path in the Proclit Forest for a couple of hours now. And as you are moving along, there are the occasional eyes that seem to be peering at you from outward in the forest. But so far, everything seems to be quiet. But for those of you who have traveled in deep, thick forests, it's the sort of quiet that's almost more suspicious than anything else. As you are traveling along the road, what are you all doing? How are you situating yourselves?
I would like to say that Lenora is probably in the cart next to the body of Sir Bryant. trying to like keep tabs, but then also she is going to paint her first card.
All right. What is she painting?
She is going to paint the Emperor.
The Emperor.
Saw a lot of strength and a lot of what is the word? Oh gosh, empowerment with Sir Bryant in the way that he was fighting.
Okay.
And the spark that he left behind was very impactful, and so she wants to create the Emperor in his image.
So the Emperor will be Sir Bryant. All right. This is going to be a role for you. It'll be an ongoing task that you will have. One moment while I recall the role I was going to have you do for that.
Resolve and notice.
Resolve and notice. Go ahead and make your risk.
Do I get to add flair?
This is your first roll, so yes, you do.
Okay, here we go. I'm using my new dice tower. Don't fail me. Well, that's crappy. All right, I got 2 successes and 2 dice left over.
Would you like to sell one of those to me?
I also have to give away a lash. I just get a hero point for it, right? I don't get another raise.
No.
Okay.
Selling me a dice gives you a hero point and gives me a villain point. It does
Then
not.
I will not do it. It does not help anybody else.
And you are currently at how many lashes?
6.
You are at 6 lashes.
Oof.
Are you wanting to do anything about those 6 lashes at this point?
You know, I would love to. So, as
are you going to pay with fate or pay with blood?
What do you think, Dan? So, with the image in mind, she starts getting a pain in her hands as she's taking this lash, and she just wants to be rid of this like as soon as possible. So the audience can kind of see her lay down her paintbrush and lay down her paper, and you are just going to see these blisters form on her hands as she just kind of pushes out the lash with blood.
Now, what I am going to say, you've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time you've allowed this many lashes to accumulate.
Yep.
And so where normally in the past it has been blisters upon your hands, this time it's like black marks going up the veins of your arm as this burn passes. Sometimes it's just on your palm, but now it's actually crackling like hot static electricity going along your arm, burning all the way to your elbows. It is intensely painful. Ooh. The worst pain you felt of this kind since you started practicing Strega, as you take your 6 minor wounds, which is your first dramatic of the session.
It sure is. Let's go.
This hurts more than you were expecting. How does it? How does Leonora embody that as it's happening?
As she is releasing this lash out back to the weave, she starts having a vision of smoke and haze and ash, and she's whimpering in the cart. She even lets out like a painful screech.
All right. Anyone can react to that. So what are the reactions?
You're muted, Jeremiah.
Mykolas will redirect his horse, like, immediately in that direction.
Raphael's ears immediately go up, and he is gonna. So I imagine that he's riding alongside the cart, and Rowan's probably to his immediate right. If you're okay with that, Rowan. And he's gonna sort of pull up to the side and look her over, and just like, what is wrong? What happened?
Leonora is in a bit of a blackout state, so I don't think that she would. I think the pain is too much for her to hear at the moment. And she's just trying to center herself again.
Is she wearing long sleeves or no?
She's pushed up her sleeves.
So you all can see the blackened marks that have gone up her arms. Umberto, you're presumably driving the cart. What are you doing?
When he hears that, he'll immediately just kind of turn with a very concerned look on his face. Kujina, you okay?
Something happened. She's not responding.
Do we need to stop?
I need water. Water is important.
Stop.
And he'll stop.
Yeah, Raphael will toss her his water skin. He'll hand it over to her.
Rowan, you were about to say something?
She's gonna do the same thing, but Raphael got it.
Okay.
Lenora quickly takes the skin and just starts pouring it over her hands, and she almost thinks about just laying her arms on Sir Bryant just to get the cold, but she's hesitant to do so. So she's just.
I am going to point out it is uncomfortable to touch Sir Bryant. He was frozen by Rona as he was. That's touch like burning cold, like frostbite cold.
Yeah. So she's just trying to relieve the pain and try to stop these scorches from going up more if they're even attempting to.
They have stopped spreading. They went as far, let's see, at 6. They were starting to go past your elbows when it finally stopped. And as you pour water out on it, there's this weird, I don't know if you've ever seen a live wire get dragged through water, but it's almost that kind of sparking as the water goes over it at first. Mm-hmm. But then it calms down. It still hurts, but it's not actively growing. It's now a remembrance of pain. It's no longer feels like injury is still being actively done.
She just takes her arms and she puts them immediately in between her legs and tries to cover her arms with her skirts, basically. Raphael, you were saying something.
No, sorry, that's my fault. My lag is getting bad. But
okay.
he says, do you need me to take a look at that, or would you rather I not?
No, it's never been this bad. It will be fine. It'll be fine. I just need a moment.
All right. Please tell us if it gets worse. Or if we can do anything for you.
See. Mm-hmm.
This is. Did someone burn you?
No. No, someone did not burn me. I did this. It is my punishment for asking fate to be kind to me.
Mykolas in the back of your head. Well, that sounds suspicious.
Malo Igua, do you need help?
Unfortunately, Mykolas, this is not something that can be helped if I am to be the one helping. So I appreciate it, but I just need to be alone for a moment.
As you wish. We're here if you need us.
I know. I do. I know.
Raphael will immediately sort of direct his horse a little bit further away, just out of arm's reach of Leonora, but still close enough by, but letting her have her space.
Yeah.
And Umberto will kind of kick the horse on slowly.
Lenora, as you are kind of positioning yourself and just trying to find some comfort in where you're sitting, you accidentally jostle your old Strega deck, the one that you had with you, and the 6 of swords falls out of it onto the ground.
She instinctually will just kind of look at it, and she'll try to read, but it's just a card. She doesn't quite know how to continue this.
All right. You are able to get some work. How many raises did you get?
I only got 2.
You got 2. 2 of the 5 you need are done, and now you're taking some time just to kind of recombobulate. When you read, the card starts smoking. And you blink hard a couple of times to register that it is not, in fact, on fire, but it is the vision that you had around the card. And it feels like it is, you owed such a powerful debt to fate that you accidentally even triggered a deck that was sort of keeping score. And that the 6, the lash, has been paid successfully. And as you're doing that read, you lift up your arms and almost perfectly mapping out the scars that are put on it, you see the black thread entwining both of them. Leaning forward past Umberto and then south, as always. But before it goes south, because you are currently traveling north, it goes to Umberto. Still linked around one of his wrists like before.
Invitation. She's going to speak so that at least Umberto can hear. And she's just going to say, the old hags never made it look this hard.
He'll Umberto will just kind of look back and respond, I guess my blood's not the only one that's complicated.
Do you not know of Strega and the price that must be paid?
My family spoke of them, but I guess they were more concerned with keeping my gifts from getting out.
Were you hidden?
Yes, you could say that. I was hidden even from myself.
Huh. And how does the flame intertwine with you?
The flame.
She's going to read Umberto.
He reads the same as he always has. One moment while I pull up everyone's...
Still reading for filth.
Ah! I can do that too. You're still lovers in war.
Yep.
My mistake, Cugino. I guess I know not of what I speak.
Though I should also say, when you read him specifically, the thread is still there.
Mm-hmm.
But with the way he moves and emotes, he has no awareness of it.
You say you're from our country, yet your blood says otherwise.
My family, as far as I was aware, is from Vodachi. I mean, that's all I've known growing up. Everywhere I went, that was all I saw. It wasn't until I was much older that I actually got to see other parts of the world.
Well, I will continue to see you as my dearest cousin, even if there is no blood to be shared between us.
I would hope so. I mean, at this point, you're the only family I have.
As you are mine, and this crew that we carry with us.
Curiously, when you say, even though there is no blood connection between us, there is a dull throb from the scars. This odd pulse. Just a sensation. You're not even reading at the moment.
Interesting. Tell me, what were your parents like?
My father was... You could say he was the passionate one. I don't want to say he was a stickler for rules, but he was definitely... He was definitely the tip of the sword. He was the one who taught me the blade, and fearless. Nothing could stop that man if he was determined. Except my mother. She was torrential. Did you ever watch a field on a summer day with the breeze?
Every day that the weather was nice, my papa would take me out.
That was her on the good day. Did you ever see a thunderstorm that just wreaked havoc out in the world?
Oddly, that was our favorite sight, me and my mom, over by the windowsill.
That was her on the bad day.
They sound wonderful.
They were definitely something.
As this is going on and the group continues to ride to the north, Rowan, you recently had a pretty significant event for you. How many men would you say Rowan has kissed to this point in her life?
Do you want me to be honest? Or do you want me to tell you the
above
truth?
table? Like give what's happened in Rowan's head.
Above table.
Yeah.
Plenty, but only 2 have mattered.
Okay.
These are the last 2, especially the one with recently with Raphael, is the only ones that she actually cared about, and it wasn't for someone else's benefit.
All right. So, so having had one of two kisses that mattered, and now the whole group's just kind of riding along. There's the moment with Lenora, but what's going on in Rowan's head?
She was very disassociated as they were before Lenora got hurt. Then her attention switched to that for a while. But once she was fine, she thought that she wouldn't think about the kiss with Raphael again, and then it kind of started going through her head again as they're kind of like sitting there taking a break, and all of a sudden she starts to smile, and then the thoughts of how bad this has went in the past goes through her head, and she stops smiling, and she'll look very concerned for a while.
Raphael.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long since your previous kiss.
No.
But that one, and in both of them, you were the initiator. So how's Raphael dealing with this?
He's having a bit of an argument with himself. It's just like part of him is in the case of Rowan, this had been months in the making. So like this is not a sudden thought for him. However, he can't help but admonish himself because it's one of those things of he knows internally that he's sort of running from processing the feelings of who he had to leave behind, and that potentially open wound of he has never gotten closure with that. He's never talked to hasn't been able to see, speak, or have any kind of notice on what is happening or going on. So like part of him is admonishing himself, like, you are still running from this. And like being honest, like he's having a bit of a difficult time because he's trying to be honest with himself, but he also doesn't want to keep holding back his heart, as it were. So he's just kind of like, is it safe to do this? He's struggling with feeling selfish for wanting more with Rowan, and he's just kind of contemplative.
So you're riding next to each other. Do either of you break the ice about this, or are you just riding in silence? It's up to you.
Raphael is going to look over at Rowan and offer her a smile, and will probably notice the look on her face, and won't say anything just outright yet, but will reach out a hand to her.
Let me look at her empathy real quick. Woof, the zilch. So she will turn and she will put on a very fake smile, and it's like very fake. And she's just, yes.
And he'll chuckle, and it's just like, and he'll kind of drop his hand for a second, and goes, because his empathy is at least 2, so he knows, he notices, and it's just like, are you all right? I'm sorry if I overstepped earlier.
And then the fake smile goes to a genuine smile, like very fast. And she's like, no, don't apologize for, and then you can see her like taking the reins and kind of mushing them in her hands a bit. And you can see the horse is getting kind of like pulled back a bit. And the horse is like, what are you doing? Kind of like, and then she realizes, she goes, oops, sorry. And then she'll turn and look at Raphael, just like kind of side eye him a bit, not look at him directly in his eye. And she's like, that was totally okay and fine. And if you were to happen to do that again, I wouldn't be like, no, don't do it. Don't jump on me and do that again. But
Would you like the warning the next time I do it, though?
A warning,
Or
and
is the surprise part of it?
She seriously thinks about that for a second, and she goes, If I'm being honest with you, there's nothing wrong with surprises. But if you want to give me one, you can, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
I
But
will
if you
keep them
just
to
kiss
when
me
we
out
are
of nowhere,
both on the ground.
okay, yeah, I mean, we could
Duly
do
noted.
it anywhere if you want. I don't really care. And like, now she's getting like real awkward, and she's kind of putting her head down a bit.
So, quick question. Given that she is 6'4" and on the back of a horse, how feasible would it be for Raphael to sort of lead up and actually plant one on Rowan?
Perfectly feasible.
Yeah.
Physically awkward. Like if you're just gonna kind of climb over and let it be awkward to do it, that's fine. If you're gonna try to be smooth in the execution, I will have a risk for you to roll.
Okay. Raphael's
All right.
going to try to be smooth. He does have game, at least a little.
Fantastic.
Okay, what am I rolling?
This is going to be, let's call this your panache, and
Which is actually higher than I thought it would be.
panache and perform.
Oh, no, I have no perform. Oh, no.
I thought you had at least one dot.
Let me see.
Nothing in
Hold on.
perform. All right.
Oh, wait, hold on. What else is it called? Because it might be something else. I see.
It's perform.
It's perform.
Oh, it is. I have one dot. I lied. I have one. I have one.
It's like I thought I remember you having one dot in that.
At least one. Oh, yay.
And don't forget flair.
Oh, wait. Hold on. That is 3 raises.
They're on 3 raises. There's a little bit of a slip. You do take one minor wound. Just from the stretch and the moving over and the horses are walking. But you manage to lean up, and because Rowan is so busily looking at anything but you as she's babbling on about all of the stuff, you even manage to get in and lay a kiss on her without her realizing it's coming. Rowan, you are suddenly being kissed on your horse.
She lets it happen, and then she will kind of grab him and pull away. Very like confused and super blush. Like she turns like a whole different color red. And then she just goes, and then she goes in and just full on makes out with him on his horse for like a few more
Is she
seconds.
like pulling him off of his horse, and now he's in her lap?
Basically? Oh yeah,
okay.
like he has picked him up off the horse.
Can I do it in such a situation to where he ends up swinging his leg over and is facing Rowan?
Sure, you've already made a roll. Go ahead. It's a little bit awkward for the poor Fate Witch in the cart right next to you two, but you know.
I'm eating popcorn.
And then when they finish, she'll just kind of like look at him. Okay. And then she will pick him up like a baby and move him over to his horse.
That's great.
The horse isn't quite pacing because they're not being actively ridden anymore, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. We'll back up a little bit. Yeah.
So
He'll help and wiggle and angle himself in such a way that he kind of just shimmies back on the horse.
while that is happening, Mykolas,
I love it.
what in the world are they even doing?
You don't know?
I have seen love and passion. I don't understand. Like, what is it? This was awkward. If you all were ambushed, what were they supposed to do if she had him in her lap like that?
I would protect them until they were disentangled.
Of course you would. But why? Why be so? Why be so vulnerable like that?
Because going through life alone is not a way to live.
But there's other way. Is it like this with everyone?
Passion?
Is that passion? Passion is when you know the enemy deserves the blow you are about to give them. Passion is fire spilling from your hands to visit justice upon those who need it. What is that? It is passion, you say, and you're not lying, but what kind of passion?
You are so good with fire, but you don't understand what it means to burn.
Perhaps I'll have to learn. I think that is a thing I could learn. I feel like it is a thing I've known before.
I would appreciate it if you put that off for a while. It's for me
Indeed.
to know how to burn, not you.
But it is a thing I've known. Not me, but me. You hear her take in like this deep breath, and you can feel a heat rising around you. Fluttering of leaves on the trees. It's gone. But curious. Very curious.
I wonder, would you have mercy if you understood it at all?
Mercy. When you do not slay those that you could? How would you define mercy?
How do I define mercy? Only do as much as I need to do to win the fight. Only use my strength when it is necessary. And use the rest of the time to help. To try to help those who are in need of my assistance. Those are merciful things. Sometimes it's showing restraint.
I often show restraint. Far often than you give me credit for.
I will concede you do not always cause harm, but you always seem to drive me towards it.
I drive you to power.
I don't want power.
But you do. You maybe perhaps do not want it in its own right, but you want it for what it would permit you to do. Like ever the soldier, you don't want the army to march, but you want it ready to march should it be needed. To ensure peace, prepare for war. That is the saying, yes?
Yes, it is an old one. But only a soldier truly understands what it means to hate war.
I cannot hate war. I am war.
And I'm a soldier. And
I wonder what it would be like if war understood passion like theirs. Where war could go if it was fought for, what is the word? Love. Fascinating.
Love. It burns and it cools. It does not have to lead to war. It's the way to end war.
Do you remember that little skirmish? One lord against another, over the love of a lady.
That wasn't love. That was pride. Men fighting to own a thing, own a person. That's not love.
I still see through your eyes the passion that was in his. He believed in it, true enough. It made him mad. And she goes quiet.
He'll sort of shake his head a little bit and just look around to see if there are any threats and go back to just being a soldier on patrol.
Mm-hmm. Umberto, you just had an odd little conversation. How are you dealing with that? Plus, this, as if he is marked knowledge of where this other portier is.
He's lingering on the question that Leonora asked him about the flame, and if he caught any of what she had been going through beforehand, he'd be kind of mulling that over. But then he just kind of shakes it off, and then he starts reminiscing about his family, and then just focuses on going forward. Although I'm sure the ruckus between Raphael and Roan would have caught his attention. I'm pretty sure they were not being quiet about that at all.
There was literally no way they could have been. Rowan's in armor. Yeah, no, there was clanging involved in that makeout session.
He would have caught that and kind of just smiled and then went back and just kept going forward.
All right. You all are on the road for a little while going in this general direction when you come upon a small town. The forest gives way a bit. You are still in the midst of the forest. It surrounds this town from all sides. And this is a town that there's a decent chance that it's close enough to Vodacce that there's a decent chance Umberto has been through here if he was part of any mercenary actions north of Vodacce. Mykolas, there's a decent chance you've traveled through here. It's not bigger than a village, but not big enough to be marked on most maps. The town of Novina. Mostly gray brick, quarried from the smaller hills that dot the Proclit forest a little bit. There is an inn set up. There are a couple of taverns, a decent-sized decent-sized town hall place, a lot of outlying villages, some places where forest has been cleared for some meager farm work. You just a quick glance over the town and the amount of farmland it has available. It's probably not quite self-sufficient, relying primarily on trade. It's at a crossroads through the forest, connecting Vodacce and several larger cities. And you also notice there are a couple of chapels, one to the older gods. This is in the Coronia part of the Samartian Commonwealth, and so that is the bigger building, but there is a small Vatacine chapel that has been established here. And as you step into the village, Umberto, you know that you're close.
This is definitely going to take some time to adjust to. Do you think we should rest for a bit?
I would definitely appreciate that. As she's like bringing down her sleeves and starting to wrap her hands.
Mykolas will go. I will check in with the tavern. And he will go to the tavern and Actually, he'll make a point of speaking proper Respican, I think is how it's pronounced, the Sarmatian language in this area.
Yeah. You walk into the tavern, and it is a fairly lively place. It is it's gotten late in the evening now, and folks are sharing drinks, mostly vodka. There is bread and cheese being served around. There's a smell of stew being prepared in the back. This tavern does not have any rooms associated with it. There is an inn nearby that handles that. And so and you can see a young man behind the bar kind of serving people and keeping an eye on things, and nods to you. Welcome to the company of crows.
It's good to be here. We are traveling, looking for places to stay. We stay at the inn, or
Yes, the inn across the way, more of a boarding house, really. It's Martian like you might have better luck asking among the different houses and farms. Usually there's people willing to let a room or two. Many boys out at war, and so there are beds available if you're not too picky about where you stay. And
well, I will stay with some of my company. They are not all from here.
okay. Can I get you something to drink? There is a pig on the spit. Should be ready soon.
Yes. He will put in the usual orders for drinks for everybody. And,
They do not have a wine option here, apparently. It is vodka and ale primarily. It seems to be what they have here.
Oh, I will be sure to get him some vodka.
God.
Put hair on chest. And then welcome everybody in. Like,
So, yeah. Like,
the young man seems to be the primary one, kind of keeping track of things now. So he helps you. Once you're bringing people in, he starts distributing drinks and taking food orders. The crowd here, like I said, it's lively, but in here, the thing actually seems to be poetry readings. There are people who are taking turns walking up onto the stage, sharing sharing poems that they have. Some of them, it's like a karaoke night. Some people get up and read a poem, and it's like, oh, wow, yeah. Others get up, and it's like you're struggling every second through it. But in general, this kind of seems to be the thing the town is into at the moment. There is a drummer present who, when someone asks for a bit of rhythm to do the reading, they will provide. But otherwise, that is the general vibe. Much more laid back than the Horsehead that you all were staying in Fontaine. Unlikely to be dancing.
Roan is kind of sitting there, and after the first two people reading their poems, she just kind of look over to Leonora and just be like, "This is normally not a thing I watch. Are they bad? Is this bad? Is this supposed to be bad?"
Shh, it's getting to the good part.
And some of you, this is all in thick. I can't even pronounce the name of the language. Fantasy Polish, basically, and for some of them, it's so rural in delivery that it's almost hard for some of you to understand. Like, particularly because it's poetry, and so sometimes the syntax of the words gets mixed up for maximum rhythm, and when the rhythm also isn't there, occasionally you're just lost. But occasionally, a really good one comes.
Raphael, watching all of this and is not paying attention to the fact that he is probably not drinking, so he's going to not, like, it's just going to knock back a sip of whatever of the vodka that's in his glass. And
Has Raphael ever had vodka before?
I'm going to let you say whether or not he has, given where he has been or where he could possibly have gone.
Probably, like you have been in places where it is available, but if you didn't know to ask for it, it's also not. And so you knock the vodka back, and nothing gets you drunk. This is not different, but it burns. It is not pleasant, and you knock it back expecting, it's like an ouzo or something. No, this is fire going down your gullet. And Mykolas seems to have an eye on you as if this was exactly the reaction he was expecting.
He just says, "Pinche pendejo, why? Why do you do that to yourself?"
It's very smooth.
No, it is not. No, it is not. Whoever told you that is a liar.
I drank this my entire life.
Is there a problem? The bartender says.
No, just an unfamiliar sensation. That is all.
Oh! I did not know you were new. One moment, and he goes higher on the shelf, and pours out another shot that he then brings and puts in front of you.
Question, sir, will this burn 2 times more? If so,
no. This is really good. This is really smooth.
Really smooth. Okay, and then she just watches Raphael.
He's gonna smell it and just kind of look at it first before he knocks.
Your eyes swim as you sniff it, like your eyes water.
This is ether. He's like, I'm not. He's going to.
And he actually pours. He also pours for himself and for Mykolas. Is Umberto and Roan getting in on this? Leonora's face, he doesn't even try with her.
No, Rowan's more of like a L type of person. She's like,
Rafael,
Umberto's thinking about it. No.
I'm drinking paint thinner. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
So he makes it for himself, for Mykolas and Shlahayim.
Yes. Tastes like home.
Tastes like something.
I have marched days drinking nothing but vodka from home.
That I can believe you. That feels like it could power one of those new contraptions, steam engine or something. I don't know. So,
Dan, I have a question.
Yes.
I am not burdened by the language barrier here.
No.
Is the poetry good?
Most of it is fine. Like when you get a bunch of high schoolers doing haikus, like they're not necessarily bad at it. Some of them, it's just words together. Very little of it is atrocious. It's easy to generate mediocre poetry, and there's a lot of mediocre poetry. Truly good poetry and truly bad poetry both require a certain something. There are a couple that are trading poems back and forth. Like about 5 times in a row, they are just replacing each other on the stage, and it is bad. Like atrocious. The metaphors could be punishable by death. They're so and very long-winded, bad rhythm. Like one of them asks the drummer, and you can see the drummer visibly struggling to follow along with what is happening. But there's one, a young woman, sort of a dirty blonde hair, who she will occasionally get up and read, and it's beautiful. Descriptions of the woods, of gardens. There's a couple poems about a young man off to war.
Okay. I would say because it's been so long since he's been around poets and good poetry, he's probably actually visibly moved a little bit by your words.
She gets to the end of her reading, and there's a little bit of a raised kind of appreciation, particularly because she was the one who broke the streak of 5 straight by the guys that you just hope that they're drunk and that's the reason. And so following them especially, she gets down, again, from a poem of a young man who went off to war, and sort of receives the clapping and kind of goes back to her little chair at a table on the other side of the room from where you all took a seat.
Okay. Rest of the time, Mykolas tries to more or less hide his reaction to most of the poems, but that one probably gets through to him.
Okay. Umberto, what are you doing in this? You're staying away from the vodka.
He's just drinking water at this point, just trying to make sense of it, of the poetry. He's listening and kind of feeling the vibe of it. And
yeah, the two guys who are exchanging poems, you catch like every third word, and you're not bad at like normally you can exchange this, but then she gets up and reads, and even though you don't fully understand you're not polyglot, or do you have the okay, but you still get into the flow, and you can feel the melancholy in it, and the combination of pride in someone who is doing something he believes in, and sadness that they're gone, and fear that they might never come back, as can happen to soldiers.
And he'll just kind of look at everybody at the table. It's interesting how we are here. We all have our passions and our scars and our darkness, but we're not as bad as them.
Mykolas will go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Mykolas will you're not from here, but in the cities, a hall like this would be considered scandalous a little. We love poetry in our country, but it's seen as somehow shameful to enjoy it in public.
That is stupid. Sorry, not saying your culture is stupid. I'm saying the fact that it would be barred is stupid. I'm sorry.
It means showing your emotions to other people, your heart. That can embarrass.
And be dangerous.
If I'm the wrong people, I imagine so. While you are here, do you mind if I stop at the little chapel? I know it's small, and I know that it's not the majority, but do you mind if I check in there, see if they need anything?
Yes, and quietly he will say, it sort of just loud enough for the father to hear, the Inquisition does have a presence in this country. Be careful.
He'll nod and will get up and sort of lean over to Rowan and give her a kiss on the forehead and whisper, I'll be right back. And then we'll get up and walk out and go slowly approach the small Vaticine
All right.
chapel bit.
It is, like I said, a very small chapel, similar to what you might find in like a larger cemetery, like almost that sort of thing. As you and it does have a small little cemetery around it. You get the impression that the Vaticine believers in the village tend to be buried here, whereas the larger graveyard in town tends to be where those who worship the old gods go. And you step in, and like I said, it's late. There are a few votive candles still burning as you come in, but you do not immediately see anyone practicing. But there are a couple of stained glass windows showing images of the first and second prophets. There is a simple little lectern from which homilies can be given, and you'd say probably about 8 pews, 4 on either side, where people would sit when services were being read.
So he's just going to quietly walk in, and he's going to walk over, and he's going to light a votive candle, and he's going to very softly and in Castilian is just going to say, I hope with all the faith that I have that you are happy at some point, even if it was after me. And I hope that wherever you are, whether it's above or still living, I hope that you are still happy. And then he'll kind of look up to the sky as if looking up to the prophet and says, I do not know what I am doing, but I hope that you will use me as you see fit. I hope that I am a beacon in the dark for those that need it. And I just ask that you strengthen me in this journey forward.
In Castilian, a voice responds, well, I would certainly be happy to help.
Oh, God. He sort of pauses for a second and takes a steadying breath, like his heart didn't immediately shoot up. It like dropped down into his stomach, like, oh. And then we'll look around for the person that spoke.
And as you turn around, you see, glancing up, sitting on one of the rafters, holding up the vaulted roof, just sitting on it, a leg dangling down, leaning against the back wall, a man in a mask. Brother Raphael, it's been entirely too long. We're going to skip back over to the tavern. Rowan, how are you handling? You're just sitting there drinking your ale?
Oh no! After the fucking kiss on the forehead, she is forehead to table.
Yeah.
And in Castilian, just instinctually, she goes, "God damn it!"
Lenora perks up. What was that, darling?
And then back in just regular English, she goes, "Huh?" And it like lifts up her face like nothing happened.
Interestingly enough, would they have ever heard her speak in Castilian before?
No, I think. Actually, they did hear her speak it once. When they were when the ceremony for Sir Brian. But I think this is the first genuine time that she has said it, and that they would have heard it. Yeah, because she didn't hide it.
And it's weird because when someone speaks their native language, it comes across a little bit different. Do any of you, Raphael's not in the room, have empathy 2 or higher? All right, Umberto, you get the very strong impression that you actually just heard Rowan speak from the heart in her home language, which is apparently not Avalonian.
You okay, Ron?
I'm because of you all. I'm dealing with Sir Brian's death really well, better than I normally would have if I was by myself. And then the kiss is plural and stuff. I'm stressed, if I'm being honest with you guys. But not to say in a bad way. Kind of.
Kissing seems like a good stress relief. From my memory, it's been a while, but
Well, I feel like for normal people, it would be a stress relief.
Do you want to talk about it?
And then she'll kind of perk up the little girl time and just kind of like
Girl time? Because we can go and we can leave these two to drink, and we can go find the inn if you wish to talk privately, unless you are willing to. She looks over to the stage. Show your heart in front of all these people who will not know anything of what you're saying.
Weirdly enough, I've been to many of these, but in a more fancier type of fashion in Avalon. And when I say fancier, I mean it was just Sir Bryant professing his love to his wife for the 1,000 millionth time.
So you know how to do it then. It should be easy for you.
I would have to put on my best Sir Brian by going, my love. And she like puts up her hands over, my love. I blah 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 blah. Love you. So
Hey everyone, says the bartender. It sounds like one of our visitors perhaps has an Outlander poem that she would wish to share. If we are done hearing each other's words, perhaps some of these would like to express their words. We understand if you can't speak it in the tongue of the gods, but if you wish to speak in your own, we would certainly love to hear your words.
How tall is this guy?
Similar to Mykolas, maybe a little bit shorter. Not as tall as Rowan.
Okay. She will fully stand up and she will look at him over the table and she will go, seriously?
Yes.
You're going on the list. And then she's going to turn, because she ain't no bitch, and go on the stage.
Okay. Now, do you have words of your own you would like to share, or do we just want to handle this as a risk?
What would the risk be?
This is going to be, well, it would depend on the nature of the poem. If it was a love poem, like Sir Bryant often recited to his wife, this would be a panache tempt. If it was sort of evocative with strong imagery, it would be panache convince. If it was like a war poem and how we will go and we will strike, it would be panache intimidate.
Okay.
And if you wanted to try to talk me into something else.
Okay. If I just come up with one right now, would you not make me roll these awful rolls that you just offered? Because there would be at least 2 die that I'm rolling with flair 3. I can just improvise it.
If you want to just improvise something, go right ahead.
Fuck it. Okay. She gets on the stage very awkwardly. And
the place goes quiet. I don't know if you've ever done poetry open mic.
I have.
But like you get up and all of a sudden everyone goes quiet and everyone's looking at you. It can be horrifying if it's the first time you've ever done it.
Fucking nerve-wracking. So she gets up on stage. and she is staring daggers at the bartender. And she goes, "I'm serious about the list." And then she goes, and she like clears her throat for what feels like a solid minute.
Mhm.
And she goes, "Passion can be terrifying. Experience can be relaxing if you have a lot of it. I don't." And she's like getting like real awkward. She's like, "Oh God, this is horrible. Where am I going?" And like kind of look on her face. And she's like, "Oh God, oh God." And then the thoughts of a woman, a very like composed, tall, abrasive woman, passes through her mind. And as if like this has been practiced, fucking Raphael's not here for it. And if this has been practiced, she stands up super straight all of a sudden. And she gets this very confident look on her face. And she goes, "Love is like a tornado. It can come in and wreck your heart to pieces very quickly. But if there is someone to help you pick up those pieces, the heart can be put back together like a puzzle."
Immediately, they're snapping and clapping. The bartender is applauding. The two gentlemen who were trading poems for a while, they both come up and they're cheering with you. And they basically, each of them locks an arm into one of yours, and they basically gang walk you over to the bar where the bartender pours you a shot of a bottle of vodka taken from the tallest shelf and with the name Divai on it.
Oh, fuck off.
And just pours it down. It's like, to courage, to passion, and the tornado.
Oh no.
Do it. Do it. You know you need to.
She just look at Mykolas and she goes, "Tornado."
I am.
And then she'll drink it. And then she goes,
It's smooth as it goes down.
"My ass."
But then, do you have the can't get drunk?
She does.
She does, okay. You can feel it tickling around you. You are not inebriated.
Okay.
But then the burn hits.
And then her face just turns up and she's like, oh no. Why?
Do any other of our guests have other Outlander poems to share?
Lenora's going to read the room.
It reads similarly to most taverns that you've been in. A random snarl of fate as all these random lives come together and come out. Less so here because it's a smaller town, and so its regular clientele is most of what it gets. But just sort of folks interwoven with each other, and a bunch of different threads seeming to latch onto Rowan. She touched some hearts with what she just read. You do notice one thread from the girl with the hair, who had read a poem that seems to be linking to Mykolas. And you've seen this sort of thing before with attraction. It's a potential of a potential.
Mm-hmm. Lenora will probably see that, and she'll just take a moment to linger on the string and look over at Rowan and just drop her reed, and she'll just kind of start clapping a little quieter.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, Roan is now trying to walk away from them.
Come to me, my champion of poetry.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, my chest burst.
So, Mykolas is very tempted to read poetry. As much as anything, because this is probably the first time any of his company have been to the country he's from. And he has a certain amount of pride there. He will take the stage.
Mykolas stands up, and immediately the room goes quiet. Everyone sits down. The focus is all on him. Do you want to read or do you want to roll?
I'll read.
Okay.
I'll read. One of the things I have a better chance if I read. But he will say it in the tongue of Sarmatia.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's probably the tongue he wrote it in, first off.
Yep.
As he's doing this, Lenora is reading.
Of course she is. I do.
Because she has no idea what's going on.
You want to?
So as he is reading, and then we'll let you get to the read. As he stands up to read, while he is reading, and you're reading, you notice that thread between the girl and him, it's getting brighter and starting to actually become a thing. And I'll do the last part of it after the read, depending on how the read goes. So go ahead.
Okay. He will read. He will speak this out. The tune of rain falls upon the roof. The patter and the steps of our reel. No winding twist of intricate step. No wounds left to heal. When all is left but the music of the night and shower, no words will we require, only the splashes of our turn and the night's desire.
Cheers. And claps and snaps. Drinks getting sent to your table. All of it vodka, obviously. And energy going back. And as he finishes, for the briefest second, it's blink and you'll miss it, Lenora, but the war and the emperor flickers to thrones and lovers before flickering back. Mykolas, as you are starting to walk back to the table, what was that titled?
Music.
Music. I was thinking victory. Interesting. More of this passion. Fascinating.
I already knew how to burn before I met you.
Perhaps I wish to learn as well. Back in the chapel, the young man, wearing a mask, drops down from the rafters, a hand resting on the sword, scabbard at his side, though it does not go drawn, and steps up. Yes, you are Brother Raphael.
And you are?
Apologies. I am Marco. And he gives a brush, and with the mask and the way it's set up, you recognize that this is one of Las Vagabundos.
Yeah, he was just confirming it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He just goes, it has been quite a while since I've seen any of you.
Yes, it has. I wasn't really thinking that I would be sent any help, let alone you.
Help? What do you mean?
Well, where we find corrupt nobility and leadership, we clear it out. There is a young nobleman in this little town. He is the ear of the local nobility and some coin. And has been getting them to overlook some things. More importantly, he's the sort who might allow the Inquisition to sink their claws in here, and I think we would all rather they did not, don't you?
You do not have to sell it to me. I am not a fan of their ilk, and any foothold they gain should be immediately uprooted, if you ask my opinion.
Indeed. Which is particularly odd in this case. The young man's Montanian. It seems to be quite in favor of letting the church have what they want.
It's because they line his pockets.
Or something else. I was thinking we'd rather not allow that to happen.
I am inclined to agree.
You were not traveling alone, I believe I marked, as you all came in.
Indeed, I am not.
Speak to your companions. I could likely handle this alone. But if you would like to help, I never mind the company.
When would you need this help?
Hopefully sooner rather than later, before any final deals can be made.
How about this? We can meet when the sun goes down and the slumber hits some? Is that the ideal time, or would you need it sooner?
If you wish me to meet with your compadres, then we certainly can.
Well, do you need their help?
The more the merrier. I presume you trust them if you travel with them, or are you investigating them?
I'm not investigating anybody at present. They just do not. And he kind of pauses for a second. I thought the secrecy was the biggest thing with...
In Castile it would be, the Daci to a lesser extent, but here... So few Vaticine around, and not all of them Inquisition, so there's room for a little more leeway. Besides, the mask doesn't do much if they often see you without it. They would recognize you with a mask on.
They have never seen me wear a mask.
Do you have it with you?
I have it with me. I just have never worn it in front of them. They don't know.
Well, if you wish to keep the secret, you certainly may. Tell you what, I will be half a mile east of the crossroads come sunset. Well, it's already late evening. When the bell strikes midnight, I will be at the half a mile east of the crossroads. You may meet me there alone, or if you wish to bring friends with you, the more the merrier. We take the help we can get when we can get it.
This is fair. And he goes, would I be able to provide this assistance without outing my involvement, if that makes any sense?
If all goes according to plan, no one will ever know Vago was even in the city.
Let alone two.
That might even be worth letting them see. If they believe we're here in numbers, they will commit numbers to attempt to hunt us down, and we will be able to do work where we actually are. Misdirection is as important in this line as anything.
You're not wrong. The left hand can distract while the right hand delivers the blow.
Or whatever the Inquisition right hand does.
I'm convinced it's each other. But then again, I'll see what, regardless of whether I come alone or with my compatriots, you will have assistance.
And he gives a bow. Brother Raphael, I am honored and excited to finally get to work alongside you.
I want to vibe check that man. Why? Why? Why does he know?
So all Vagos are like this.
Wolfgar wasn't sure about that.
Yeah. So, the vagabonders are all like this because they're all taken on. But anyway, we are going to take a quick break now, and so stick around, and we will be continuing shortly. All right. So, welcome back, Rafael. You make your way out of the chapel and head back over. It's getting to the point where it's rather late. It's looking like the poetry bar is gonna the Company of Crows, but forever known as the poetry bar, is starting to close down, with people either going home or heading over to the local inn to get a place to stay for the night.
Yeah, he's
Tabs
gonna
are being
sort of-
settled and the like.
Yeah, he's gonna is gonna stand outside the door and wait for his flock to wander out. Well, listen. Mykolas has his company. Raphael has his flock. You should.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you all just get up and figure you'll catch up with Raphael later? Or are you waiting for Raphael to catch up with you? How are you all handling the closing time?
Closing time.
Oh my god. Well, I know that Roan was gonna grab Leonora at some point because she do want to have that talk, but
I think we'll have it at the inn. So I think that Lenora will go up to Ron and be like, I think it is time to retire. Do you all want me to grab the drinks this time? I'm happy to do so, and we can go get our room. It should be fine. We shall meet up in the morning.
I mean, yes, yeah, that is normal. We will get the room for the fellows, and you two get the room, and the usual arrangement.
Yep.
And no surprises visits in the middle of the night, Kelly. Yes, time, right?
I promise. I can't promise. I can't promise.
Well, we're going to go. So, and then she'll take Rowan by the arm and start heading towards the local inn.
As you all are beginning to disperse, the girl, the good poet of the locals, actually comes up to Mykolas. And
Lenora sees this and just kind of looks.
I think Roan will side eye her and be like, "You just gonna."
She walks up to Mykolas and says, your poem was lovely.
That's for yours. You have a gift.
Thank you. One I've considered taking to the capital, actually, but I'm waiting here.
What company was your soldier in?
The Northern Crows. The 105th.
Does Mykolas know the fate of that particular company?
He knows that company, in the last he knew, he has heard of them, and they were fairly legendary. They were pretty good in their time. They were in some hard fights, similar battlefields to you, including the one that you made the deal to escape.
Okay.
And they did not cross your path since then. You don't know that they got wiped out in that fight, and that's far enough back now that if they had, she probably would know about it. But
proud company. I've heard good things of them.
We're rather proud. That's the reason for the name. You stood like a soldier. What company were you with?
We were a company of horse infantry, scouts and the like. It was my company.
You're not traveling with them anymore.
No. I had other duties in other places.
What gave you permission to go?
He'll consider for a moment, consider the kind of struggle she's going through, and go, I had permission from the royal house.
Oh, special assignment.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a letter in 3 months. I'm sorry. That's your poem was lovely. I should probably be going home.
You have much to be proud of.
Is it crazy that I considered going to the capital and reading there, not waiting?
Many of the regional commanders work from the capital. It might be a place that you could learn more about where he is. I understand the desire to be near someone you care for.
I'm Nadia.
I am Mykolas.
And she just quietly goes out the door. And does not turn towards the inn, goes towards one of the neighborhoods of residential buildings.
Okay.
So first off, did Umberto hang back to see what was going to happen with Mykolas there, or did he go out with the girls?
He stuck around just to make sure.
So you watch as this girl has it was probably, I don't know how much of it you would have been able to hear, but they, you see them talk, and then she kind of heads out. What does Mykolas look like after she steps away?
Thoughtful. Probably a little sad. You know, he had a lot of pride in his time in the army, and he had to leave it, and it bothers him. And it also bothers him he couldn't help her.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know how to comfort her, to tell her it was going to be okay, or if it wasn't going to be okay. So it bothered him.
Yeah.
Mykolas, you okay?
Oh, just haunted by ghosts.
That is the story of my life.
It's hard for us to have relationships with those who don't live in our world. It's hard on them.
It is true. I mean, the past is the most dangerous ghost. Sometimes you can forget it exists, and yet it is still there behind you when you turn at just the right moment.
It's always there.
But if you just keep, well, to say marching forward is a probably overstated in your circle.
I always hear the drums. They never stop.
Outside, as Roan and Leonora are stepping out a little bit earlier, they find Father Raphael waiting for them.
Oh, good. You did not get yourself into trouble.
No, but I may have a lead.
A lead?
But we can discuss that when we are all and he's just gonna look around and sort of like lean in conspiratorially and just say, the problem we are chasing.
Ah, yes. Well, it will have to wait at least another little while, because Rowan and I have important business to attend to. You know, ladies' things. So we're going to go to the inn, and we're going to get a room. And if you could give us at least, I don't know, how long would you say, Rowan, that it would take?
An hour.
Oh, yep. If you just give us an hour, if that is all right, then we can all reconvene in one of our rooms. The boys are inside, so if you want to join them, we will meet you at the inn.
So long as it's before the clock strikes midnight, that is all I request.
I have perfect time. What is the time, Story Master?
You have probably about an hour and a half before midnight.
Perfect. That will be plenty of time, Father. Thank you. And she will like almost pull Rowan as much as this little 5'2" woman can.
Is Rowan just kind of following along, like?
Yeah, she will let her drag her. She's like, "Oh, you're stronger than I thought." And just
I've had to tie cattle. Like, I know how to
if Rowan
move.
pays attention, if Rowan ever looks back at Raphael before she like completely leaves, he will offer her a smile, and just it's a look of adoration and admiration before turning into the poetry bar, as we've affectionately coined it, and look around and see Mykolas and Umberto talking and wander over with a look on his face.
Around this time, the girls are almost to the inn when Mykolas and Umberto come out.
Oh, gotcha. Buenas noches, mi amigos.
Buonasera. Still alive, that's good.
Well, yeah, I'm very much alive. I am also very difficult. My ability to die is not in question here. I have something I wish to talk to the two of you about first. They're going to need a minute. They had ladies' business to attend to, but I do need to talk to you all. And
ladies' business.
That's what they said, and I am not going to pry and ask because I am a smart man.
Good.
Gossip.
Wiser than your years.
I get told that a lot. It's kind of surprising. And then we'll say, let us speak in our room. Probably best.
Yeah. Let us find our room.
All right. As first, Leonora and Rowan come into the inn, a large woman, very well said, very stout, wearing very traditional Samartian, Coronian clothing, comes forward. Her hair tied back, and just has this. She's the woman. You've seen plenty of these in Vidachi. That any women who enter her orbit are immediately her daughters, for better or for worse.
I love her. I love her so much.
And she steps up and goes, "Ladies, what were you doing out alone at this hour? Surely you had someone to escort you. Are you safe? Are you well? Are you on the run for something?"
we're safe. I can pretty much handle any problem for the both of us.
She's actually the muscle of our party.
And it's weird, like, because you are taller than her, Rowan. Like, you're taller than everyone. And yet, this woman has so much personality as she's coming up on you. You feel like a 13-year-old girl again. Like you're about to get... You feel like you did the first time you met Sir Bryant's wife.
Ooh.
It's that kind of personality. It's that kind of strength. And in her house... Yeah, so she's like, well, the two of you, what you should know, I do take travelers of all kinds, anyone who comes. And if you would rather stay in a smaller place where you're less likely to be disturbed by gentlemen, for instance, I could give you a good name of house of my cousin. She has a room that she's willing to let. If you would prefer to not, mix around with some of the rough types that come in here, I would completely understand. But if you would like to help here, let me show you what I have. And just grabs both of you by the hands and starts walking you.
Oh, God.
I love this
in and
woman.
around. And basically shows you into a room. It's got two beds, very nicely set up. Handmade doilies on the table surfaces. And she makes abundantly clear, the rooms over here, these are all women, so long as you stay on this side of the building, no chance. There's a chamber pot there. There's a place over here. And just going all over you and says, is there anything else you need?
Signora, this is too much, but we appreciate it as always. Grazie.
Thank you.
Oh, the Dutch, and blessings on your mother. And
What?
and closes the door behind both of you. She then walks around, and this is around the time that the boys come in. Coming from the vodka bar, I don't doubt. At this hour, what would your mothers think?
They would, in fact, congratulate us for having such good judgment as to find you at the end of the evening.
Well, at least they taught you correctly how to speak to someone. You all are looking for a room as well, yes?
Si, senora.
If it would not be too much trouble, Senora.
Well, I do believe I have some male rooms still available. That would be 3 silver for each of you.
I will take care of. And he puts.
Are you sure? I do not mind.
No,
She handles all that. And let me tell you, there are some women who just stepped in. If I see any of you bothering any of them, you will be out of my place. They do not need to be bothered. They are good girls.
We would never.
Oh,
We
go
would
ahead.
never. We would never step out so rudely.
Of course, I would never.
And-
I wouldn't dishonor Miyamura that way.
She looks at Raphael, looks over at Mykolas. You'll keep him out of trouble, yes?
Yeah, I'll keep him out of trouble. And he will put his big beefy hand on the back of Raphael's neck. I can keep him in mind.
Very good. And she looks over at Umberto, looks him up and down. I will have to tell Mala not to send her daughters over in the morning. I don't know why.
Why is this woman's empathy? Good Lord.
Senora, you will never have to worry about a thing for me. I promise you.
She walks straight up to Umberto, grabs you by the ear to pull you down so she's looking you in the eyes and said, one of these days, a woman is going to kick your ass. You marry her. Go.
Raphael just chuckles and then just.
And that will be a glorious day indeed.
Glory, glory. What a hell of a way to
She reminds me of my Adra growing up.
Esto. And it's just gonna because he can't think of the common way to say it, because he's always. Es tu madre? Abuela? What is it?
Adra is but she is who raised me.
Oh, es tu
Yes.
mamá.
Complicated.
Fair, I guess.
He'll usher them towards the room. Thank you, madam, for your kindness.
Buenas noches. He will.
All right. So we're going to be going back and forth. There's two very different conversations about to be happening. First, we will start with Leonora and Roan.
All right, so very brave of you to go up on the stage. I did not expect that from you, but I'm quite impressed. You
Well-
you hold a lot of passion in.
Right. About that. We've been traveling together for a while, and
See,
I don't think we've had one of these talks. Now, before I tell you what I've been wanting to tell someone for a while, and also I'll explain why I was probably so comfortable and okay with doing all that. I have to ask. I have to, because I'm just curious.
but we're talking about you.
I mean, yeah, but we're close, right? We're close.
Yes, you're the closest to a girlfriend that I've had in a very long time.
Oh, thank you. And then you watch, she just like starts
Oh.
standing tall. She's like, oh my god. And then she'll go, if you don't mind me asking, Mykolas, what is the? Because there was a lot that happened that I've been meaning to ask. There was the whole whoops, how dare you, and then there was the I'm sorry, and then it was oh it's fine, and then it was the vodka. It was a lot of shit.
I don't know if it is anything. There's nothing there. I just talk with him because I care for him as I care for everyone here. I don't.
That's no.
I don't.
What
I
is
don't
what is
understand.
Rowan's empathy?
Zero. Big goose egg, my friend.
And what is Lenora's convince?
My convince? Oh no. Hold on. Where is it? Please. My convince is 2.
Hey.
Lenora, if you are trying, well, first off, is Lenora telling the truth? Fair to ask.
She doesn't know how to answer. So she's
Okay.
trying to give a blanket statement. This isn't her thing. And she doesn't know how to act when addressing affection.
Okay. So she is masking.
Yes.
All right. With no empathy, Rowan, she's dodging you at the moment. You don't have reason to disbelieve her. You're more likely to disbelieve what you've seen than in this girl interaction right now.
And she'll go, if you're mad at him, we could be mad at him.
Well, I was mad at him because he told me a little bit about himself, and then it just got completely spread around the entire room, and I thought I was special for one moment, and then all of a sudden nothing. So of course I was mad for just a moment, but I will put that in the past.
Right. Well,
It is of the past. It is nothing right now.
New question. So if I feel some type of way about the one that I'd like to be specifically love, I should hit them if I feel wrong.
I don't think it was love that moved me to hit Mykolas. I think I just wanted to do it.
I mean, I always want to hit people. I don't know if... Well, Rafael is different because I don't want to hit him all the time in the bad way. Wait, nope. I shouldn't have said that. That was. Oh no.
Are we talking?
We're going to break right here, and we're going to go across the way to what the men are talking about.
Okay. Sorry, you didn't give enough recovery time, dang it. I'm sitting here dying. No, so once they get into the room, Raphael is going to do everything he can and is going to look every bit as paranoid as somebody who's about to reveal a big secret is going to look. And if they have any sort of insight into the emotional state of anybody, they will see that. Like, he's looking around, making sure there's nobody here. And how thin are the walls?
Oh,
like he's
your room is very functional. 2 bunk beds, rough spun blankets. 3 of the 4 beds have pillows. She didn't know there were going to be 3 of you. She just kind of pushed you into this room. There, a couple of candles. Very, very, very functional. Very roadhouse. Very bunk room.
Okay, so once that is done, he's gonna sit on one of the bottom bunks, and is just gonna kind of rest his elbows on his knees, and is going to say, "Okay, you." And it's gonna point at Umberto. We may be able to deal with the problem we came here for tonight. At midnight, specifically at it was the eastern area of the crossroads, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is east of the crossroads. There is someone there who specializes in dealing with corrupt nobility and does not mind assistance. He is Montagnan, so and given the nature of your gift, knowing where it comes from, typically anyway.
Okay, you had me at corrupt nobility, so okay.
But there is a bit of, what's the word for it?
Risk? Danger?
Well, yeah, there's lots of that. But the fact that this touches a bit of my past that I have not spoken to you all about. It is safer for me to discuss it here. Were we back in my home country of Castile, or your home country of Vedaci, I would be drawn and quartered likely if they knew of this. So I need you to understand the gravity of how much we cannot discuss it in the general public.
Do you want to tell us?
I do.
All right.
Because you all have made me privy to secrets that I feel that the timing of this is, what's the word, almost divine. And says, what is your knowledge of an organization called the Los Vagabundos?
Mykolas, you probably would have heard the occasional story. They occasionally operate in the Commonwealth, but generally not, because everyone's nobles, and so they're like, y'all are doing fine. We're needed more elsewhere. Umberto, you would be fairly, they're mostly a Castilian organization, but they do operate from time to time in Vedaci. They will work with or against merchant princes as it becomes convenient or inconvenient, and are fully aware that it is a alliance of convenience. Like, okay, we both want this thing, and so we will work with this merchant prince, and we will make no assumptions that alliance will last even after the commission of the act. So, and the merchant princes tend to treat them as irritatingly idealistic mercenaries.
I've run across a time or two.
Yes, we have had them in our country, but not many. Some sort of fighting group. I
Of a sort. We battle corruption with nobles and things of the like. We bring... It is hard to articulate and explain, but... And he will sort of reach in, and there is a particular... Like, one of the bracers that you've always seen Raphael wear has this dark cloth always sort of around it. It's not on the one on his right, but it is on the one on his left. And he sort of unwinds it and will kind of sort of just pull it on, and he will put on his mask.
And there's something about the way he puts on his mask. As it happens, he stands a little bit straighter and looks more dangerous in just how he presents. And you realize he isn't just wearing a mask. He is a vagabundo.
Oh. Aren't the masks a little silly? I mean, doesn't that announce that you're there for a thing? Wouldn't it be simpler?
If they catch you, sure, but most of the time they do not. And if they do, we are gone before they can do anything about it.
And the anonymity helps with familia or friends.
I thought...
See.
So it's not a fashion choice?
No. There is a reason for why they do what they do. I am admittedly still... Quick question above table. Is Raphael still what they would consider a novice at this point, or does he have a reputation?
Marco's comment was the first time you got the impression, like, to your knowledge, you are a novice in the organization. Like, they helped you, you helped them back a little bit. The idea that you would be known within the Vagos, that's news to you.
It's like, my standing with the group is a little up in the air, because last I checked, I was a bit of a novice. They helped me, I helped them. It was a thing, but my encounter in the chapel made it sound as if I had a reputation, and I was not sure that where I got it from or how that even happened. So I am unsure.
Is it a reputation like Umberto has, or a reputation like I have?
I do not have a bad reputation, if that makes any sense. It's a good one, some notoriety, but not the kind that gets me chased out of confessional booths. I'm not going to let you live that one down, especially when you give her the fake name, and then you don't have the courtesy to remember hers.
But let's shorten this down to important.
Let's see.
You want us to go hunt something tonight? Is that what I'm hearing?
You can if you wish to. I am planning to go regardless. I said with help or without, I would still be there. You would still have assistance. So I do not want you to feel like I am forcing you to do a thing.
Stop apologizing.
Stop.
No. You are in our company. You go into a fight, we go with you. That's how this works.
And as I said, you said corrupted nobility. I was already in, whatever it was. And besides, if I let you go and possibly get yourself killed, Roan would murder me.
I feel like she would reach into the afterlife and snatch me back herself.
And I've put too much work into you two already, okay? I am not going to let that.
Do not mess with the party's OPP.
I don't want to see Ron sad again. No.
My question would be, do we try to tell them and bring them in on this? I feel like if I don't tell Rowan at the very least, she will want to kill me. And if we don't invite her to fight, I feel like she is going to feel some kind of way about it.
Well, first we have to figure out how to tell them without Mama Bear downstairs possibly removing parts of us alphabetically.
Which alphabet?
You don't want it to be the Vadachin, let me tell you.
Anything like the Castilian, I feel like I'm going to die rather quickly.
We're in summation.
All right.
Sorry
Skipping back over. Skipping back over to the girls. Y'all have been talking and going back and forth for a while now.
Yes, I would like to continue to paint the Emperor.
Go ahead and make another roll.
Let's go.
Don't forget, you can use hero points to add to your.
I did it! All right. Do I have to take another lash?
Oh, yeah, you do.
No!
Oh, boy.
As in the process of creating.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Well, at least I got something out of it, I guess.
So while Roan, while you two are talking, you see her continuing to paint, and she's painting a very artistic. He would have liked it. Representation of Sir Bryant, standing and speaking. How would you have posed him in this painting, Lenore?
You know, I almost want to say that I would have modeled this after having blessed him, I activated his Arcana, which allowed him to get a little bit more empowered, and I would have posed the picture as if he was gaining all of his strength, as if he was like the 15,500 whatever number years younger, and in his prime, getting ready to fight with two hands on his sword and just being stood up very, very tall.
And Rowan, as you see this, as the last stroke of paint is permitted to dry, and Lenora's talking to you, and you've been continuing the conversation, all of a sudden there's this chill that you get, Rowan. And Lenora, you feel the lash unbidden go into place. And the card that you are holding, it feels different. You've been working with Strega, with Sorte cards for years. This one is yours. This one can read in ways. It's like you're becoming professional. It's like this is your card. You've been using other you've been borrowing wands. This one belongs to you.
I think Rona's looking down, and she looks up very impressed. I mean, he had shorter hair, but hey.
Well, I'm sure you did not know him with the longer hair phase. You know how everyone has their phases.
I mean, that is very true, but he also did. He has a lot of portraits because he did live a while. And, there are a lot of those type of portraits that are very overly exaggerated, if that makes sense.
Well, I hope that you would approve.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. He probably gave you some polls and tips. I think if you make my chest a little broader. Yeah. Stuff like that.
He was very important to you.
Yeah. I went through a lot before meeting him. So, which brings me to what I wanted to ask you about or tell you about necessarily. This whole thing with Raphael is, oh boy, is it fun. And honestly good for my soul, I think.
I can tell you without reading that you are brighter.
You think this, this passion I have, I guess, can help me strike down my foes a bit better. Maybe.
Well, I think it is something worth fighting for that will give you that extra bit of strength.
That's, you know what? I think that might be the right path. You know, the right thing. The main thing what I'm worried about is the last time I was involved with a Castilian man. Hated the guy. I mean, he was tall, like very tall, and just a dick. And like, I don't know.
Lenora will take a moment to like attune to this, like through her reading. So it's more like I want to like see her intention behind her words, kind of deal. Am I able to do that through reading? Or would I just be like empathying?
Yeah, that's kind of more empathy. As you're reading, what you can see as you look at Rowan, there are a lot of loose threads. And they've been there since Sir Bryant died. But they're not gone. They're almost thrashing around as if looking to find new people to connect to, which happens from time to time when this particular relationship that someone had with someone else, just because they were gone doesn't mean that no one else can step into that role. Like she's looking for someone else to fill some of the shoes that he wore in her life. And you can feel that kind of the ones that remind you more of crushes, of attraction, like what you saw between Nadia, from Nadia to Mykolas, like maybe looking.
Mm-hmm. But there's definitely a pull towards the direction of Raphael.
I mean, there's a pull in almost every direction, but yes, one including their side of the building.
Right. It does not do well but to dwell in the past, Rowan. And even though he is Castilian, they are not the same. And they never will, because everyone's weave is genuine and unique.
Huh. And you watch she actually like kind of like crisscross applesauce just sit on the floor, like just, and she put her hands in her face a bit and rub her hair back. And she goes, I am mainly scared of the fact that this passion can strike up a lot of bad blood, and like no pun intended. I have demons in my closet that I have yet to face, and I don't know if I want him to be privy to that just yet. And it sounds like if I went, I don't want you to help me with that, he would probably do it any fucking way. And as all of you would, which is new for me. Like, honestly, Sir Brian was the only one that did that for me. So it's, I don't know, it's hard for me to even honestly confess that, but I feel like it was time to say it out loud.
Now, you listen to me, Roan Ibex. You have come a long fucking way from holding on to someone's knees to make sure that you don't fall. And you stand taller than anyone I have seen, literally and figuratively. You can defeat any demon that comes to you. And I think it is more important to focus on what you can do for you rather than what they can do for you.
She'll not get up, but she'll like scooch over on her butt. So like the metal like from her piece of armor just kind of hitting the floor. And she'll grab Lenora's hands. When the demons come, I'll protect you. But if I'm being honest, Mykolas will probably get there first.
I don't know why you are still so...
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll leave it alone.
She'll just like wrap Rowan in a hug.
Back over to the gentleman.
Very gentle.
Technically, I'm an officer, therefore I must be a gentleman. So, we're going to go and hunt down these things, but we need to tell the women, yes?
I do not feel entirely comfortable going into this without at least saying something about what we're doing.
No, you're right. Lenora will skin you alive, and I would get slapped again. And I'm not certain why, but I'm fairly certain I would get slapped again.
I am worried, though, about... he'll take off the mask at this point and sort of retie it back on for now, because he's not going to walk around in the general public with it just yet. It's just going to say, I am just worried about how this might make them view me, and given the situation with Roan, I am afraid that this secret will mess it up.
I have a solution. Umberto?
Yes.
You will distract the matron.
Okay.
This camaraderie is not something that Raphael has really had a lot of since his time on Batacine Island, so the fact that this is happening right now is a little weird for him.
Yes. And then you will go into the ladies' quarters and tell them, try to keep your hands off of Rowan for a little while till we're done.
I have some semblance of self-control.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Look.
I have more than...
Right.
And he's just going to say... It's going to go. It's going to actually wait for...
Yes. Umberto, you go ahead. Talk to the matron. I will help the father slip past. Try to not turn it into makeup session. I understand what it means to want someone. Sometimes you have to hold back a little.
Well, considering she's in the room with Lenora, and the walls are probably thin, and she's not quiet, I am not going to be the one trying to make too much noise and draw attention to the fact that I am dropping a very big secret into their laps and getting to tell them about what kind of, what is the word, fuckery that we're going to be getting up to, yes?
I am reminded of my days back in the army. I had a friend. We used to get into this sort of trouble all the time. Now, come on, Umberto, go do the thing you do.
Umberto, having been so sharply confronted before, how do you approach the matron of the household?
He would go and just speak to her. Excuse me, Senora. I was just wondering. We were turning in for the night, but we wanted to know if there was basically some muscle nearby for me and my companions. We are I will admit they had a little too much. I'm not a drinker.
I know. You were out. You were at the vodka bar, and
See, they let their passions get the best of them, and
because they are men, and that is what men do.
Yes, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. I just, I want you to know. I swear what I said. I know you cannot trust the word of a gentleman, let alone of a Dachin. But I promise you, we will bring no trouble to you or any of the women here.
Panache and convince, please.
Two.
All right, on two. You definitely have her distracted, and she leaps into a fairly emphatic discussion on the failings of the male species, with noticeable exceptions made for her dear departed husband, her father, and her boys, who are good boys. They just got caught up with some undesirables. You are going to take one minor wound just from the load of. She's not actually hitting you, but you are getting an earful.
The mental slapping.
Yeah. But at the moment, she is distracted, and you can kind of sense as Raphael makes his move. Raphael, what is your approach?
He's going to go full Vago with this, and just like he's got his hood sort of pulled up, and he is trying to blend in with the walls as he just walks like
Finesse and hide as you make your approach.
Oh Jesus! Can I get my flair for this? Right?
You do get your flair.
Okay. Actually, hold on. I need more blue dice. Give me all of my blue dice because the prophet is with me.
Because I haven't done this yet. I'm going to spend one villain point as Lenora's fate flashes as stuff going, and anything 5 or below is not going to count on this roll.
No.
Okay.
I would like to help him with this sneaking.
Spend a hero point to give him 3 dice. Go ahead.
Yeah, I spend a help point to give him 3 dice, and he can use me as a visual obstruction as I take a walk.
Sounds good. So 3 extra dice, but anything 5 or below does not count.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, 2, 3, 4.
I hate this.
That is 4.
4.
Yes.
Dang.
Those extra
Well,
dice came in handy. Thank you.
Yeah. They certainly do. All right. You are without difficulty able to get across the way and go into the hallway. You are now confronted with it's smaller than the men's side of the building. She gets a lot more male men coming through than women. But there are 2 doors on either side of this hallway, and you did not see which one they went into. What are we doing?
He's going to listen for the sounds of Roan's armor.
All right. You pause and you listen. And you're pretty sure you can hear you hear some conversation. Only 2 of the rooms are occupied, one on the left, one on the right. And on the one on the right, as you were carefully listening at the doors, you were able to hear Leonora and Roan talking.
Okay, so he's going to tap, 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 tap.
You all hear someone tap, tap, tapping at your chamber door.
Ron will shoot up and just kind of look at Leonora like,
It is that time. I wouldn't be surprised if the boys were trying to cause some trouble.
Right.
Maybe you should answer the door?
I got it. And she'll roll the door open.
There's Raphael.
And she just stares at him and then slowly closes the door back.
Just in his face.
He'll put his hand up on the door. He'll put his hand up on the door.
And then she'll just stop and she'll just look at him. And she's
It's
like,
importante. Muy importante. Let me in. I need to talk to you both.
yep, Lenora, it's Raphael. She'll like open the door and let him in, but she's looking at Lenora like, "What the fuck do I do? What's happening?" Is
We're not hearing you right now, Natalie.
So let them in, or else he'll probably be executed by the lady up front.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The other two are distractions, and he'll
Of course,
shut the
of
door,
course.
and he'll go. All right. So, I need to tell you a few things, and I need you to wait till I am finished to ask you questions. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Can we do that? Okay, good. All right. So that little problem that we have been following here, it is here. He is Montagnan, a corrupt nobleman, by the sound of it, who bribes the pockets to give the church more free will in this country than it ought to have, in the form of the Inquisition. And there is someone who I ran into, who specializes in getting rid of these kind of problems.
So let's take care of the problem.
Oh yeah, that is good. So we're on the same page with that. However, this person would pause for question in, what do you know of the Los Vagabundos?
Nada.
Oh, Roan's face turns like, what the fuck are you getting at? But there's a look of recognition though.
Okay, so you are familiar. This conversation that we are currently having cannot happen in Castile, and it's certain, and by extension, even Vadachi. So I am trusting you both to understand the gravity of what I am going to show you and tell you. The reason I know that this person specializes in doing what they does is because I am intimately familiar. And the left arm bracer that always has this black cloth sort of wrapped around it, but not the right. He'll slowly unravel it. And then he'll put the mask on.
I love the look.
And Rowan, he's a Vago. You can tell the moment he has it on. It's not a guy wearing them. Like Castilians, if they're not Vagos, they don't wear the mask. But everything about him, yeah.
Question that no one else is gonna get but you, storyteller. Was she chased by the Vagos, or did they help her when she was?
The Vagos were never aware, but getting to the Vagos was always an option. That opportunity never arose, but one of the potential plans was, we think the Vagos would protect us if we could find them.
Okay, then she'll just kind of look at him and go, "Okay, you're a part of that."
See, I'm sorry, I had not told anyone. As long as we are traveling together, it is just not something that has come up, and I haven't seen them for months. And to be honest, my standing with the group is a bit up in the air for me right now, because when I ran into the man in the chapel, he spoke as if I thought I was a novice, but he spoke as if I had a reputation. Not necessarily a bad one, but a reputation nonetheless, and it was not off-putting. I'm just very confused by what kind of reputation I could have amassed.
You're a skilled fighter, you heal very quickly. I don't know if there's any way that you couldn't be a reputable, but I think this is a problem that we need to take care of sooner rather than later. So if you two are done having your rivals to lovers conversation, I think we should go and help the other boys.
True enough. They are playing distraction with the matron of the establishment right now,
but she is a smart woman, and she will be here any moment.
That's true. Let's get going.
There's nothing to do.
He's crawling under the bed. He is crawling under the bed, and he is staying there, and just cloak over his head and is like not moving. Immediately.
Lenora opens the door.
And there she's standing there. I was coming by to see what was going on, and I thought I heard a male voice in the hallway somewhere.
Oh, you see, Signora, Roan is a wonderful puppeteer and has been doing a lovely performance for me about what had happened earlier this eve. Would you care to show?
Well, you know, poem. Vodka.
It is my guilty pleasure, my telenovelas.
Okay, I'm going to need a panache perform from Rowan
No,
in this moment.
that's so bad.
Can I spend a hero point to assist?
Absolutely, that's
Yes.
3 hero points to Rowan.
There you go.
Okay, you said panache and perform.
Perform.
Oh
Plus
boy,
3 dice.
plus 3 dice. Okay, and then
And
one for flair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That gives me 6 die. That's good. Thank you so much.
And she's
Oh.
looking at you very carefully. I am going to raise
No!
the threshold to 15.
That is not so good anymore. Oh, now I have to do math for real. Give me a second. Oh no. 12 to 15, right?
To 15. So you're making 15s, but any 10s are auto raises.
2. And I had to
2.
use all of my die for that.
She's looking at you. I saw the way you were looking at the troublemaker. Now look, he's an attractive man,
Oh no.
and he has the silvery tongue to him.
Uh-huh.
But you have to watch out, particularly for the Castilians.
Okay.
They're almost as bad as the Vadachans. No offense, my dear.
None taken.
You are lovely.
Oh, thank you. Grazie.
Raphael, I'm seeing some pretty big gesticulations from you. And this, even though you in real life are trying to be quiet for someone in the room, how is Raphael handling hearing all of this underneath the bed?
He is rolling his eyes and doing his being as quiet as a chapel mouse. He's not making any noise. He's doing his level best at like, this is survival. If she finds me under here, she's gonna kill me. And I
Resolve and hide, please,
Oh God.
as you are doing your best to stay quiet, despite this is not the sort of thing you've ever been accused of before. Like, you get accused of other things. This has never been you.
Is the 15 thing still on?
15 is still in effect. It's still the same scene.
Oh boy.
Oh, thank God.
I have a plan if there's nothing. I have a plan.
Okay, hold on. So that is 2 10s at least,
Good.
and an 8 and a 7. So 3.
All right. Any
Wait,
left
do
over?
10s count as 15? I'm so sorry.
When you roll a 10,
Okay.
this is a house rule. This is not in the system, but my house rule is if you roll a 10, it is an auto raise.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so on 3, you will also take 1 minor wound, just from maybe holding your breath a little bit longer than you meant. But after her whole speech is done, she's like, "Well, very well." She will suddenly duck and look under the other bed.
Oh no.
Okay, fine. You all have a lovely evening. And she walks out and closes the door behind her.
Raphael will you'll hear a soft sound of as he kind of in a soft thump as he just like falls from. He was holding on to what amounts as a box spring, and it's just like, oh god, it hurts. His muscles have been bunched up, so he just kind of lays there. He doesn't come out from under the bed at first.
Is there a window?
There is a window.
Lenora will instinctively open the window and say, "Your turn to go."
We are meeting at the East Crossroads at midnight, so just prepare yourselves for whatever you need. And
I would say that actually Mykolas is outside that window.
Yeah, you eventually saw when the delay tactic stopped working, so you are now outside the window. Mykolas is there. Lenora, you will actually see it as you open up the window.
I will look at him, being like, "Well, you have a landing pad."
And this is like, oh, good. And he will vault out of the window and sort of land in a tumble.
You are a story up. So this is going to be your finesse and athletics to stick the landing. 3 chances of minor wounds.
Okay.
Can I roll as well to help him?
You can give a hero point, but that's the help mechanic.
I mean,
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
This is probably going to hurt. Actually, no. That is a 10. Never mind.
Luckily, leaping from windows and running along rooftops is something that Raphael is actually quite good at.
3.
3. So you stick the landing, another minor wound just from the jostling of the hit, but you are now on the grounded, Lenora. Are you going after him or are you closing the window?
I'm closing the window.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Just he'll wave at her.
And close.
All right, we're gonna divert back to the men now. Mm-hmm. Umberto, you finally stopped getting. She was speaking her mind at length, but eventually she suddenly gets like a sixth sense type thing, and you're not able to hold on to her, and she disengages. Mykolas goes out the door. Where do you go?
He would follow suit behind and just be like, "Good luck."
And you actually hear her looking around and searching the room. She doesn't look out the window. And then you see the window open and Lenora make her comment as then Raphael Superman's out the window.
He's just kind of like, because he's at 3 minor wounds at this point, and he's just kind of like, I'm going to be feeling whatever we do tonight in the morning.
Come on, let's go wait for them.
Of course, as polite gentlemen and all that. And he's gonna sort of saunter his way towards like this, like towards the front of the building, but is still gonna be off to the side, and is gonna wait, and also try to gauge the time because he's been keeping an ear out for the bells.
You're coming up on time, and you all head out and you get to the crossroads, and the crossroads are actually the center of town. And then heading east from there, the half mile leads you out beyond the town boundaries, and you're not quite fully into the woods yet. There's a lovely little stream that's trickling along the road, and leaning against one of the trees, one of the outlier trees, is Marco.
When they would have gotten to the edge of town and were leaving town to go towards the woods, Raphael would have taken that opportunity to put his mask on.
Mm-hmm. He also has his mask on. He steps forward. I see you were able to bring some of your comrades. Excellent.
Indeed.
Apologies. I am Marco of the Vagabundos. And you are? And he's saying to Umberto and Mykolas.
Umberto.
Mykolas Kelvan.
Well, this is an interesting opportunity. I assume by the fact that you've been traveling with the brother here that you have some knowledge of what we're about.
See.
Yeah.
This Montagnan. He's been in town for a little while. He's been spending a fair amount of money in order to get the constabulary to not pay too close attention to his comings and goings. He spends a good deal of time in the southern forest, and we're not entirely sure what he's doing there, but there have been tales of attacks on some of the outlying farms and the like, and whatever he's up to, it's no good. What's more, that such corrupting influence on local law enforcement is the sort of thing we tend to stand against, so...
Yeah.
You have any questions for me?
We are taking him alive, I assume?
If possible, we suppose, though doing that is always awkward. If he identifies you and wishes to make trouble for you later, once he's in custody, it's up to what the government does. But
who are you giving him to?
That is the question. If we keep him in custody and we hand him over, obviously not local law enforcement, as they're already in his pocket. I'm open to ideas, though.
A quick above-table question. Fontaine is how much of a journey back?
A good day and a half journey back.
Ugh.
That's probably not
How far is the capital?
Probably well, let me see. I have a map, and so I'm going to look at that. To get to Budorogum, pronouncing Samartian names can be a little bit of a trip. From here, because you're on the main road, it's about equidistant, but because it's on the main road, you're likely going to get there in most of a day's travel. Not quite as bad as if you were going back to Fontaine.
If we could subdue him, I know the right people in the capital to hand him over to.
Well, that certainly works for me. He might make some trouble here for the locals, and odds are they have earned that trouble, and so maybe get some corrupt people moved out of position.
I would prefer not to cause trouble for the locals in general.
How that is handled is all what the officials hear. They're not going to like a Montagnan behaving that way. And likely Montaigne won't like it much either. The embassy there might have something to say about one of their own behaving in this matter. Samasha and Montaigne do not currently have much difficulty with each other, and likely they would like to keep it that way.
So, alive, if possible, we know who to hand him off to. If not, problem solved.
Indeed. Might be a lot less trouble for a number of people, but I don't go around asking others to murder. If he forces you to it, though, I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
If he deserves it, then who am I to challenge fate?
Indeed. Now, he is not currently in town, to the best of my knowledge. He was seen heading into the southern forest again, and as he is saying that, Umberto, yeah, you could almost point south straight at him, based on your current awareness. It's like, he tends to go out at night. We could go into the woods and see if we can track him down, or we could wait for him to come back and handle him on the road. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm good at tracking. If you
are not actually currently there, Roan.
No, not yet. Sorry.
You
I'm sure we can find him easily, and if we wait for him, if we just show up at his doorstep, we have the element of surprise.
We can set up an ambush. We are very good at that. And you'll see a slight smirk on Raphael's face, the fact that he has definitely done that before.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, Umberto, you have this sense like you could point right to him. He was to the south in the woods where he had opened a blesher before. All of a sudden, it's different. It's like when you detect someone while you are in the in-between. As in, direction doesn't apply. You're still aware of them, but far away. And then he reads as in the town.
Shit.
What is it?
He moved.
Where?
And Umberto will point in the direction.
No. And Raphael immediately is looking like is bouncing on the balls of his feet and is just like.
Mykolas has already started walking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no, Raphael's running. Screw this.
Like,
walking shit.
Let's go to the ladies.
Yeah.
Yep.
You two are, chatting and like, are you in a rush to get to the crossroads or?
I mean, we said we would meet them closer to midnight, so it's not like the biggest rush in the world, but we are on our way.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell everybody.
All right, so you're on your way and you're moving out. And you come out and the lady comes up. Oh, did you all need something? Is it too cold in the room? I can get you more blankets.
That is very kind of you. We actually forgot something in our cart, and we wanted to make the horses were safe for tonight.
Oh, very well. Yes, we do have the stables. We were looking over them. That older horse of yours, the one you have pulling the cart, he is so sweet.
He is the sweetest horse.
Yes.
Don't you agree, Rowan?
Absolutely. Persepolis is the best.
Persepolis is his name. I love that.
He does love apples.
I will keep that in mind. I will keep that definitely in mind. And very well. Yes, absolutely. You two can head over to the stables and in here. And she quick runs into the side little kitchenette that she has, and she comes out and she pushes a couple of apples into your hands.
Beautiful. And they will walk to the cart. Walk toward. I don't know. Do we walk to the stables, or do we walk?
You walk into the stables. They're actually attached.
Yeah.
There's a connecting door, and so you're able to go in. And the horses all seem to be very well cared for. It's clear this lady has a passion for animals and has like really cared for them and everything. And Persepolis sees you and then immediately zeroes in on the apples.
Yes, hungry as always. Is he always this bad?
I remember he trampled a man for a basket of apples once, so yes.
Well, and she
What are your notice scores?
2.
2.
2 for both of you. So you both hear the popping noise upstairs in the rafters up above you.
No.
And the weird drip sound that follows it.
Roan will immediately put on the helmet and unlatch the axe. Well, I'm assuming that wasn't our friend?
I would not know why he would use it here. And Lenora's gonna jump in the hay. And can I get a hero point for when I solve a complex problem in a simple tried true method from back at the farm?
Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna hide.
As you Assassin's Creed this stuff by just quick, a pile of hay. This will solve all of my problems. And you dive in. And so, Lenora, you dive into the hay. And Rowan, you're just standing there with your helmet and your axe as a man drops down from the rafters. She doesn't normally allow people, particularly women, out of their rooms this time of night. Unfortunate.
Huh. You are trying to be intimidating, and you're just looking like a dick.
He pulls a gun.
Oh, fuck. This got real. Oh, no. I don't think Roan
Ronian. And then suddenly he drops into a very French accent. He'd been trying to kind of into French. This might be exactly what I need.
Oh,
And well armored as well. Let's see how you know how to fight when you don't have your pesky little tricks.
Lenora's gonna like stealthily roll out the hay, and she's gonna kiss him and curse
shit.
him.
Okay. Let's see if you can get to him.
Can I like stealthily like sneak up, like hold him from behind and kiss him on the cheek?
This is finesse and hide.
Okay.
To get that close.
Oh God. I gotta do something. Oh no,
All
I
right.
take another lash. God damn it. Why do
Oh
I
my
do this to
God.
Can I
myself?
You are
get
at 7 lashes.
Oh man.
Can I get
Okay,
her
wait,
a
wait,
hero point even though I'm not there?
You can give a hero point.
You said
one.
finesse and hide?
Yes, finesse and hide. This is stealth. This is
Yes.
being unseen. You've been given 3 extra dice.
Holy smokes. Okay. 4.
4.
Oh, yeah, 4.
All right, Lenora, you are completely unseen. Your steps do not touch anything. There is no crinkling of straw as you. And Rowan, you watch as Lenora comes up, and what does it look like as Lenora places the curse?
So, Lenora, as if the night fell over her face, as if she was wearing a veil, but there's nothing there. She just comes in. How tall is this man?
He's actually fairly tall. He's only a couple inches shorter than Rowan.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'2".
Oh God! Oh, that's gonna be so much more difficult. Okay, so she is going to come from behind and literally like jump on his back, where her shoulder will anchor on his, and she is going to turn his face and kiss him right on the mouth.
All right.
And as she does so, she goes, "Your ancestors are going to feel that for eternity, and everyone hereafter."
His arm wraps around her waist as she does that.
Oh, fuck.
He's like, then let's go ask them. He is going to spend a villain point, and they both port away. And with that, we are going to bring this episode to a close. Thank you to Basics of the Game for hosting and producing us. Thank you to Dragon of the Dark Rose for all the production that you do. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying and watching us. And until next time, remember, play more games.